Little Brian Stelter's not doing so well these days. As you know, he recently admitted to what we all knew was happening. He cries himself to sleep. And now he's got a few more reasons to keep him up at night. He's fixated on an up-and-coming conservative news network called OAN, One American News.
Let me introduce you to One American News. It's a conservative cable news channel that claims to be
your source for credible, honest, unbiased reporting from around the world.
But it's actually anything but that. OAN is more traditional newsreel.
Facebook announces a major deal.
Nancy Pelosi called Joe Biden the right man for the job.
Today marks National Jelly Bean Day.
And part right-wing commentary, with the occasional baseless conspiratorial video thrown in for good measure. So beyond irresponsible content and hard-right commentary, OAN is probably best known for asking some of President Trump's favorite questions at White House press briefings.
Go ahead, OAN in the back. OAN, please, OAN. OAN.
In 2015, OAN hitched its wagon to the Trump train.
Trump's political views on key issues have remained remarkably the same for nearly 30 years.
Chanel Rian, who is billed as their White House correspondent, she has a long history of spreading conspiracy theories.
Rian has not responded to multiple requests for comment from CNN.
Well, thank you for introducing OAN to what little audience you have, Brian. But I think there's another reason little Brian doesn't like OAN, aside from them not being a part of the liberal media industrial complex. I can't help but notice that they have some of the most beautiful women in the television news business working there. And we all know how little Brian feels about that. In fact, Tomi Lahren got started at OAN before getting spotted by The Blaze, and now she works at Fox News, where she belongs. I actually did a sit-down interview with her back in 2015, and I knew the moment that I saw her that she was going to be a star.
I have a feeling that we'll be seeing more of you. I think you're going to be a rising star.
Let's work together, because I think common sense can be brought to California if we team up and just tell it like it is, right?
And of course, little Brian Stelter and his sidekick Oliver Darcy are trying to get OAN segments censored from YouTube. In a recent issue of his Reliable Sources newsletter, he gave Oliver Darcy a little blurb where he wrote that he, quote, checked in with YouTube to see whether or not a particular video was in accordance with the company's policies. YouTube got back with him and said that they weren't going to remove the video, but called it borderline content, and said such content that does not meet the bar for removal is subjected to limited functionality, such as being removed from recommendations and search features on the platform. It's literally Oliver Darcy's job to run to the big tech companies and tattle on people and try to get their videos and tweets removed and get people banned. But little Brian and friends' underhanded activities aren't going unnoticed. President Trump tweeted about little Brian in what I think is the first time ever, calling him a poor man's lapdog for AT&T. Well, Mr. President, I'm not sure if the word man and Brian Stelter should be in the same sentence, but I get your point.
The Department of Justice has just announced that it is dropping all of the charges in the criminal case against Michael Flynn, former General Michael Flynn, who was President Trump's first national security in December 2017.
And now we have a title and a release date for Brian's long-awaited book, Hoax, Donald Trump, Fox News, and the Dangerous Distortion of Truth, coming to the bargain bin this August. I put out a request for the meme makers to fix the cover for me, and they didn't disappoint. Here's one of them. Hoax, Brian Stelter, CNN, and crying yourself to sleep. Here's another one where somebody swapped out the original cover photo for one of Brian meeting the love of his life, a box of donuts. And I have a feeling there are more on their way. Oh, I almost forgot, and this is not a joke, by the way. This is not Photoshopped. If you Google Stelter surname origin, the top search result comes from Ancestry.com, which says that it originates from the German nickname for a disabled person. All I want is for President Trump to tweet out one of my voiceovers so I can know that for the rest of his life he'll be haunted by the echo of his true self. Never forget, Brian, that I made you a star, and before I discovered you, you were just a lonely weekend host with a Sunday morning show. And look at you now, getting shout-outs by the president on Twitter. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and we'll continue to have a good laugh at little Brian's expense. And speaking of Brian's network, I do have this wonderful fake news shirt available at markdice.com, which I will admit was inspired by CNN. You can see the font closely resembles the CNN logo for obvious reasons. Order yours from my online store at markdice.com or click the link in the description below. And like all of my designs, it's available in a t-shirt, long sleeve, and a hoodie, and a whole bunch of different colors as well. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check it out.